A very good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with chapter 9 and we are going to do the second part. We have already done 3 physical divisions of India, and here we are going to begin with the 4th physical division, the Great Plateau of Peninsular India. This is the 4th division we will learn about. This area lies in the south of Great Northern Plain, and this plateau is the oldest part of Indian subcontinent. It is made up of hard and igneous rocks. These rocks are the solidified and cooled magma which comes out of volcanoes. It is divided into 2 parts. The northern part is the Malwa Plateau and the southern part is the Deccan Plateau. And these 2 parts are separated by the Vindhya and Satpura mountain ranges. The river Narmada, which flows from east to west, is also located almost in the middle of these 2 plateaus. It divides the Malwa Plateau from the Deccan Plateau. The northern part of Malwa Plateau is flanked by Aravalli, which is the oldest mountain range in India. This lies in the west, and in the south lies the Vindhyas. Vindhyas are again mountain ranges. So this is the position or location of the peninsular plateau. The western edge of the Deccan Plateau is formed by the Sahyadri, the Nilgiri, Annamalai and the Cardamom hills. Together these hills are known as Western Ghats. Anamudi in Kerala is the highest peak. The Western Ghats run parallel to the coast facing the Arabian Sea. So you have the map. When you see in the map, you will see that just parallel to the coast towards the west, where we have Arabian Sea, we have Western Ghats, and similarly parallel to the eastern coast which faces the Bay of Bengal, we have the Eastern Ghats. Again, these Eastern Ghats are low and discontinuous hills. They slope towards the east, and both the Eastern Ghats and the Western Ghats converge at Nilgiris. Nilgiris are again mountain ranges, and these are old mountains and they do not have high peaks and glaciers like we have on the Himalayas. Anamudi, as we have already seen, is the highest peak of the Deccan, and it is only 2695 meters high. We had learned earlier that Himalayas are younger hills and they are pointed. They have sharp edges, while the Aravallis and the mountains of the Western and Eastern Ghat, they are comparatively older and they are not very high. The northwestern part of Deccan Plateau is called the Deccan Trap. It is made up of volcanic rocks which were made of lava flows. It occupies the whole of Maharashtra and parts of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh. So this is what you should learn about the Great Plateau of Peninsular India. Now let us recall once again, what does peninsula means? Peninsula means land which is surrounded by water on 3 sides. So we have in the west Arabian Sea, in the east Bay of Bengal, and south we have Indian Ocean. Now we move to the coastal plains. The Deccan Plateau is flanked by the narrow coastal plains in the east and west. When you see in the map, you will see very narrow strip of green, light green, which is both in the eastern side and in the western side, coastal side. These are the coastal plains. The western coastal plain lies between Western Ghat and the Arabian Sea. The northern part is called Konkan and the southern part is called Malabar. The natural harbors of Mumbai and Marmagao are located on the western coast. Now similarly, when we come to east, the eastern coastal plain lies between the Bay of Bengal and the Eastern Ghats, and compared to the western coast, eastern coasts are little wider. You can see it is little wider. Its southern part is called Coromandel Coast. It contains deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri. These are the rivers which empty in the Bay of Bengal. These are all big rivers emptying in the Bay of Bengal. They fall in the Bay of Bengal. And this Coromandel coast is full of deltas formed by these rivers. And the northern part of the eastern coast is called Northern Sirkas. In this part lie West Bengal and Odisha. Puri, Mandarmani, and all these important sea beaches, coastal cities, they are located in this area. And we come to the last physical division of India, which is the groups of Indian islands. As you can see in the map which I have put here, one of the set of islands, it lies towards the west of India and the other one lies towards the east of India. One lies in the Arabian Sea while the other lies in the Bay of Bengal. So in addition to the mainland, India has two sets of islands. One is known as the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and the other is known as Lakshadweep. Now when you see in the map, you will see that Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie in the Bay of Bengal. The first picture you can see. In the Bay of Bengal, we have Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and they are 233 in numbers. There are 233 small islands. The northern cluster of islands is known as Andaman Islands, and there are 214 islands in that, and the southern cluster is known as Nicobar Islands. You can see in this map, up we have Andaman Islands and down we have Nicobar Islands. North Andaman, Middle Andaman, Port Blair, the capital, you can see there, South Andaman, Little Andaman, and coming down you can see Nicobar 1 and Great Nicobar. So all these areas together, they form Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Many of these islands are small and uninhabited. No one lives there. And next we move to the Lakshadweep part. They lie in the Arabian Sea. You can see here Kerala, we can see the eastern coast, and away from the eastern coast there is Lakshadweep Sea, and we have this cluster of islands, that is Lakshadweep Islands. They are horseshoe shaped. You can see almost in this map they are in the shape of horseshoe, and they are mostly coral islands. These islands are 27 in number and about 17 of them are uninhabited. Kavarati is the capital of these groups of islands. They are smaller in numbers and size as compared to Nicobar Islands. These islands form the union territory of Lakshadweep. So these are the smallest union territories, while Andaman Nicobar Islands are the largest union territories of India. Now we move to the map which I was talking about. As you can see here, the key is given. Brown part is number 1. I have marked there number 1, that is the brown area is the mountain region, the Great Northern Mountains, which we learnt. The green part, that is I have marked 2, is the Northern Plains, the Great Northern Plains. Up we have the Indus Basin, in the middle we have the Ganga Basin, and towards the northeast we have the Brahmaputra Basin. When we come further towards the west, when we move westwards, the yellow area, that is the Thar Desert, marked 3. And coming further south, the brown part that I had just told you to see, that is the big part, that is the Great Peninsular Plateau. You can see River Narmada I have marked there. Above River Narmada we have the Malwa Plateau, and below River Narmada we have the Deccan Plateau. And then we will come to the coastal plains. You can see I have marked them both sides, eastern sides as well as western sides, number 5. So when we come to the western sides where we have Kerala and Mumbai, that Arabian Sea side, you will see it is very thin, it is very narrow strip of coastal plains we have. and when we come to the eastern towards Bay of Bengal, that is little broader. Up we have West Bengal and Orissa part, that is northern Circas, and when you come down there we have the Coromandel coast. So this is what we have been learning in the lesson. When you come here and you see the map properly, you will be able to understand the various divisions. And in the Bay of Bengal, you can see number 6 marked there, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the set of islands. And when you come to Arabian Sea, I have again put number 6 there, that set of islands, that is Lakshadweep. So this is the full map of physical divisions of India. So I hope you will be able to understand once you read the lesson carefully and then you examine the map. I have put numbers and the colors are enough for you to understand. With this we come to the end of portion for first semester. All the 9 chapters we have finished, and very fast I am going to do the exercises also. So number 1, think and answer. Which country is our western neighbor? Answer, Pakistan. Number 2, which longitude is taken as the standard meridian of India? Answer, 82.30. 82 degree 30 minutes east. We say like that. Number 3, which river does not flow into the Bay of Bengal? River Tapi. River Tapi flows in Arabian Sea. Which parallel of latitude passes through India? Number B, Tropic of Cancer. Which is the westernmost part of India? Rajasthan. Lakshadweep Islands lie in the Arabian Sea. Port Blair is the capital of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Then match the following. The Narmada matches with Arabian Sea because it falls into the Arabian Sea. Kaveri is Bay of Bengal. Kanchenjunga, the Great Himalayas. Thar Desert, Rajasthan. Cardamom Hills, the Deccan Plateau. Now fill in the blanks. Kanchenjunga is the highest peak of the Himalayas in India. Anaimudi is the highest peak of the peninsular India, and the height is only 2600, around 2600 meters. The Indo-Gangetic Plain lies to the south of the Himalayas. The Indo-Gangetic Plain is made up of alluvial soil which is very fertile. It is brought by the rivers and its tributaries, River Ganga and its tributaries. The Arabian Sea lies to the west of India. The Indian Ocean lies to the south of India. Gangtok is the capital of Sikkim. The northernmost range of the Himalayas is called the Himadri. The country of India lies in the south of Asia, and the eastern edge of the plateau is called Eastern Ghats. So these are fill in the blanks, and last we have write T for true and F for false statements. So we will be writing true or false. The east-west extent of India is about 5,000 kilometers. That is false. The correct answer will be 3,000 kilometers. Mount Everest is the highest peak in India. That is again false because it is the highest peak in Nepal. The density of population is highest in the Thar Desert. Again it is false. It is highest in the Ganga basin. Kavaratti is the capital of Lakshadweep. It is true. Himalaya means abode of snow. That is also true. And Shimla is the capital of Himachal Pradesh. That is also true. So we have come to the end of this video, and we have also come to the end of chapter 9 as well as the portion for first semester. So now what will you have to do? You have to read the lessons carefully. We did not get time to revise the lesson, but you all are big enough. You can revise yourself. So read the lessons carefully. Watch the videos if you have any doubt, and all the assignments have been given to you. Question answers have been given. Please learn them. Objective answers you do from the exercises, and you can also do on your own. Read the lessons well, and from the middle of the chapter you mark the important things and you can learn them. When you take out your book and you see at the end we have a practice assignment given. Small booklet is there, and we have practice assignments based on all the chapters, or each chapter wise it is given. So you can after learning the lessons well, you can even do those practice assignments in the booklet, so then your revision will be complete. Class 5 students are big enough, they can do the revision themselves, isn't it? So you all will do the revision yourself, read the lessons well. When you don't understand, go back and watch the video, and still if you have doubts, you can keep it ready when we discuss the lessons. Next week we'll be doing online classes, and when we discuss the lessons, you can ask your teacher whatever doubts you have or whatever you want to know. So till we meet again, you all keep smiling, keep learning, and take good care of yourselves.